Time for our riding tip of the month, where we all get to become better riders. So we've talked about gear prep in the past. We've talked about bike prep. For December, we're going to talk about on-bike riding skills, something that's going to make you a better rider in the wintertime months. Now, for those of you who are actually out on your motorcycle this time of year, I salute you. I'm a pretty fair weather guy when it comes to street bikes. However, this is something that all people should be aware of because we will get caught out in the rain at some point. The tips we'll go over today are really good for newer or less experienced riders. However, those of you with lots of miles and lots of years under your belt, always good to have a refresher. So, let's go over the top 3 obstacles that you're going to face when you're out riding in the rain. The first of these is going to be painted lines. They're on every road, all over the place. And in the summertime, we don't notice them at all. We just go right across. But in the winter, those painted lines, whites, yellows, doesn't matter, they become like ice. So you really want to pay attention to those things, especially anytime the bike is tipped over. All of these slippery items that we're going to talk about are best to tackle in a straight up and down position. If you can avoid being leaned over, that's the best way to do it. So watch out for painted lines. Also, manhole covers. Anything that's metal. Manhole covers, train tracks are a concern as well. And also those big metal plates that you see in construction zones. Anything that's metal is going to have less grip than asphalt. So really watch out for those. And of course, standing water. I'm not talking about just that sheen of water that's all over everything. I'm talking about puddles. Anywhere where you might get any amount of water that will cause you to hydroplane. So really watch out for that. One good tip for dealing with standing water is to keep an eye out for beading. If you see individual beads of water, that would indicate that there's actually oil underneath that, which makes it even worse. So those are the top 3 things that you need to watch out for. Now let's go over the top 3 tips in how to best manage these types of obstacles. So the first one is going to be identify these things early. You need to really start looking ahead further in the wet weather. Now, this is a good practice to do all times of the year. However, during this time of year, visibility is lower, it's darker, there's cloud cover, it's raining. So identifying these things early means having good vision. Look down the road, pay attention to where you're going to, and then think about some other tips too, like either have a wiper on your glove that you can clear your vision with, or consider using a Rain-X product or something to help keep that moisture off of your visor. That's going to help you identify things early on. Now, the second tip in order to manage these things, be smooth and relaxed. It's instinct, it's nature for us to get tightened up when we're nervous. When we see things that are freaking us out, we get this death grip on the bike, and that's not what we want to do. When you're tight, all of those inputs through the handlebars are much more herky-jerky. So it's contrary to what we want to do, but try to relax on the motorcycle. Remember, focus on proper riding position. Engage your core muscles. Use that to get the weight off of the handlebars. This is really important for sport bike riders. A lot of weight on the front end, that's going to give you obviously more chances to push that front tire. So try to get your weight off the bars, have a loose grip on those handlebars, those grips, and try to be relaxed. This is something that will come with more practice and more experience, but it'll help you be a smoother rider overall, even when it isn't wet outside. Now, the third thing to do is to increase your following distance. This sounds like a no-brainer, but what this does is it allows you to better perform the first 2 tips that we went over, early identification and being smooth. If you give yourself more room between you and the people in front of you or you and the people around you, that's going to allow you to, 1, spot those obstacles before they come up and just surprise you out of nowhere. It's also going to allow you to see it, anticipate it, and then keep yourself calm and smooth. So follow those 3 tips and it'll help you get through this wet season a little bit better. Congratulations for riding through the winter. You are a soldier, but hopefully we'll keep you safe all year long.